The show has got a real buzz about it this year, completely bounced back to what it was like pre-COVID, which is great.
I'm with Iconic Auctioneers. I've never seen it so busy. So many people, it's not stopped from 9 o'clock this morning all the way through. Inquiries are through the roof. Very positive.
I would just like to say something about the HCVA. It is great that that has been created. I've thought over the last decade or so we need a voice, and they are now creating that voice for the classic car industry. And it's a big industry. It creates a lot of jobs and a lot of money into the economy. Long may we continue.
But there's such a massive industry and infrastructure around the classic car market that you're not going to be able to ban them or get rid of them. They're going to be here forever. And the market will evolve and change as time goes on.
A lot of these cars, getting feedback, they actually saved people's sanity over COVID. They had a classic in the garage. It was something to pour their time into.
The main polluting agent of a car is not when you drive them, but when you produce them. So when you buy a new car, you create 90% of its footprint. So therefore, when you buy a new car every year, you're creating a lot more pollution than if you keep driving the same car for the past 20 years.
What we particularly do in terms of keeping the cars on the road is the carbon footprint is already embedded, it's happened. What we're doing is getting more life out of the existing cars. And most of our cars do a low mileage, 4,000 or 5,000 miles a year, that is all. So the carbon footprint they're making is pretty modest continuing. And hopefully with sustainable fuel, we'll get over that little bit and people will appreciate them a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, they've been here long enough. There's no owing of carbon footprint, as it were. So you're not creating anything new, but you're rectifying and using it again. That's not just from the ecological side, it's also nice, I guess, from a historic side that we were able to drive around in cars with good engines. Yeah. Albeit we can of course now use majorly sustainable petrol. So I think there's a lot of work going on in the UK on this. So we've run a fuel injected E-Type on I think around an 80% reduced carbon fuel, which was successful. We've run a race engine as well, full throttle, 9,000 RPM, with a fuel that we just put in. Didn't make any changes to the car, just put it in and ran it, and it ran successfully.
It depends what you want to do. Either you want to take cheap flight out of Gatwick to get out of the country, or you can drive a lovely classic car and discover the British countryside.